Hey there folks, this is Lucifer Lake Warden coming back at you with another long overdue video. Forgive me how I sound right now. I'm not feeling so good. Past day or so I've been feeling some sort of sinus issue coming over me. It's long overdue that I put out a new video talking about Satanism and interesting things, whatnot. Also, forgive how I look. I'm just, like I said, I'm not doing the greatest. So a few days ago, one of our members for STS started up reading my book, The Satanic Testament, on his Facebook group and with his boyfriend. And just last night, he sent me a link to the recent video, and something was said that sparked my interest, that caught my attention. They were talking about proper use of labels and a few other things. And one thing that was said is that there is a lot of Satanists in Antifa. Anybody who knows me knows that's going to kind of raise my hackles quite a bit, considering that I am definitely not for Antifa. So, I wanted to discuss it, and I wanted to explain something that is going to put a few things to correctness here. Again, excuse me. I am sick right at the moment, so I'm trying not to be gross or anything. If I pause the video or suddenly you see a jump cut or whatnot, it's because, well, I had to take care of something. For now, I got my cup of coffee, I got cough drops in my pocket, and tissues, and yeah. Moving on. So, the comment was that there's a lot of Satanists in Antifa. And the other one was like, they weren't too sure about Satanism being involved with communism and whatnot. And they didn't realize that Antifa was actually communist. Because here's the thing, when you actually look at STS, you look at a lot of other proper satanic groups, a lot of it does lean more so to the political right now. And that's mostly due to the current political climate. Anything that isn't on the Democratic far left is considered politically right, even if they are actually centrist. Now, most actual Satanists, be them theistic or atheistic, when I say that I mean Church Satan atheistic, they tend to be very centrist, okay? They don't really lean to the left. They don't fully lean to the right. They are pretty well right in the middle. And for the comment to be said that there is a lot of Satanists in Antifa, I have to say, no, there isn't. There are going to be some Satanists who do go, excuse me, to Antifa, and then they're going to be like, wait, this isn't for me, and they leave it. Now, that doesn't change their political views or anything. It doesn't change their standing and wanting to be anti-fascist or anything. What it does do is it is a credit to their morality and their personal beliefs. In Satanism, we are told to question everything. Well, with Antifa and the political far left, you're not allowed to do that. You're told to tote the party line, and that's it. And most Satanists, we cannot tolerate that. So we're sitting here going like, if we're being told to go protest something, we're going to be like, well, what are we protesting? Why are we protesting this? And they're going to look at all the angles. As a martial artist, as a person who's been in more than my fair share of street fights, one thing I will always say is that there are three sides to every conflict. There's yours, there's your opponents, and then there's the bystanders watching it. So, the Satanist, he's going to be that fourth angle in that, and he's going to look at all the different points of view of a situation. He's going to form his own opinion. And most often than not, his opinion is going to probably be one of the truest opinions on how it is. And he's not going to sit there and just blindly follow anybody. He's going to find the best, he's going to find the best solution for it. And that's the angle that he's going to go. In our current political climate, a lot of the truth is actually coming out of the political right, which is actually standing up for people's rights to speak out and to not be forced to do things that they don't want to do. This is what the political left is currently trying to do in forcing people to do things that they don't want to do, especially with vaccine mandates right now from Joe Biden. That's not morally correct. It's not right. It doesn't matter if the vaccine works or not. It's the fact that he's trying to force people to take it. And a lot of people are like, no, I'm not going to be forced to do something without all the information. And all honesty, we're talking about vaccines that were rushed through in less than a year, when most vaccines take 5-10 years just to be tested and pushed through finally, and to be made sure that they're safe. And we're talking about vaccines that were rushed through in an emergency situation in less than a year. That's not exactly safe. I've been around doctors who have flat out said that the vaccines aren't working. I've been around doctors who have flat out said that they are being told to lie on their reports. And that doesn't really incite confidence in me to go out and get a vaccine. When I'm having doctors saying that it's not working. When I'm seeing medical professionals losing their jobs because they don't want the vaccine. Why is that? Why are these people who are medical professionals, who are in the field, who see the virus every day, who understand it, who understand what the vaccine does and how it works, why are they refusing to get the vaccine when they should know whether or not it works? Well, that's something you got to ask. That's something you got to look at and be like, well, if they're not trusting the vaccine enough to go get it, there's got to be something wrong there. And so we would make the logical assumption. I've read all the reports and everything, and so I can make an educated assumption on it. Diana also works for a insurance company, and she's seeing reports on the back end too. So she can make an educated assumption. This is where a Satanist comes in. We look at every angle. We look at what is not being said. Which is why a Satanist would not be part of Antifa. And if they did join Antifa, they wouldn't be part of it for very long. Because a Satanist is not a person who is going to sit there and be like, okay, I'm going to be a little sheep and go protest this just because somebody tells me so. Just because the news tells me so. Anton LaVey preached against this. Anton LaVey preached against this as part of the 9 satanic sins. In herd conformity, because the herd is going to look at the news and just listen to it and blindly follow what they're being told. Whereas the Satanist won't. The Satanist is going to be like, okay. And then he's going to go out and he's going to investigate it himself. Not just from one angle, but from all angles. He's going to get as much information from both sides and from a neutral source as he can before he makes his decision. And so therefore, he would not be going out and joining Antifa. Another thing is that a Satanist would not be doing that because when walking in open territory, we are told to bother no one. And if someone was to bother us, we should tell them to stop. And if they do not stop, then we destroy them. Now, this statement doesn't mean physically destroy them. It can in certain situations. And most Satanists are more than capable of standing their own in a fist fight. I know I am. And I have done so on many occasions. But more importantly, a Satanist is also capable of communicating, of using his voice, of being eloquent with his words. And it can be a verbal teardown. It can be understanding how to get out of a situation. It can be knowing who to report that person to and letting others handle it so that person never bothers you again or anybody again. A Satanist's biggest weapon, his best weapon, is right up here. His brain. His second best weapon is his brawn. Between brain and brawn, he is able to accomplish almost anything. And a Satanist would not go around bothering people as Antifa does. Antifa blindly follows the herd mentality. They blindly pick up baseball bats, knives. They try to attack soldiers, people who've laid their lives on the line for our country, just because somebody tells them to go do something. Satanists wouldn't do that. True Satanists would not do that. Antifa is a communist organization. They use the sickle and hammer. They use the raised fist. Satanists don't hold their arms open. Satanists will always cross their arms to protect themselves. There is a reason why this is not a satanic symbol, but this is. Because in ancient times, the horns on a being, such as a goat or a satyr, a god, a deity, were a sign of intelligence and wisdom and temperance. So we throw the horns to show that we have a brain. And Satanists, unlike others, are not herd beings. They are the herd leaders. They are the wolves that will separate themselves from the herd and run along the outlying edges. A Satanist will not be led to the slaughterhouse because he will see that slaughterhouse and he will make the efforts to go elsewhere. So to wrap this up, the statement that there are a lot of Satanists in Antifa is completely false. The people who are being seen as Satanists, as being part of Antifa, are not actually Satanists. Most of them are TST. Excuse me. Most of them are TST, the Satanic Temple. Anybody who understands the nature of Satanic Thulian Society will know that we are at war with TST. We don't go to Antifa. TST members most oftentimes don't even read LaVeyan Satanism or any established form of Satanism. They try to say that they are a non-theistic group, so they're atheists, even though they have Wiccans in their ranks. Yeah. I look at a lot of TST members and I see a lot of very unhealthy individuals. I look at an actual Satanist group, one of our grottos, one of our covens, and people I see there are healthy, they're happy. They feel no need to go out and speak their beliefs, whereas TST is out there pushing their political agenda into people's faces. Their abortion rights, their left-wing politics. This is what TST is. That's not what STS is, and that's not what most Satanism is. I almost never see a Church of Satan member out protesting, out marching with Antifa. Why? Well, first off, Antifa all covered their faces. And secondly, even the Church of Satan is not that dumb. Though they claim an atheistic point of view, they're not that dumb. They will look at all the angles. And I know that there are plenty of Democrats and leftists in the Church of Satan, and yet they are not that dumb. Most of the people there aren't going to sit there and blindly listen to CNN or MNS, whatever. Yeah. They're not going to sit there and listen to left-wing media blindly. They're going to sit there, they're going to be like, so what's the other side saying? They're going to at least get both sides of the story. And then they're going to form their opinion. This is Church of Satan. And I know that a lot of them are going to be doing that. So the only Satanists, quote unquote, that you're seeing in Antifa are actually TST members. And as I've stated before, we don't view them as actual Satanists. They're wannabes and they're pretenders. So that's where I'm going to leave it off. Tell me what you think in the comments down below. And until next time, my name is Lucifer Lake Warden. I'm the founder of the Satanic Thulian Society and high priest of it, whatever you want to say. Like, share, subscribe. You know the routine. Tell me what you think in the comments down below. And until next time, I'm Lucifer Lake Warden, and I'm out of here.